Guys. My stream crashed. Good start. It crashed immediately. Okay, wait, hold on. Oh, I'm not visible. Where am I? Oh no. Good start. Good start. I click start and it crashes. Oh, I'm here. Okay, hi guys. I hope you didn't disappear. That was wild. Okay, well, now we can start the stream. Okay, great. Hi, everyone. Sorry about that. How's everyone doing today? Are we ready for a critique stream? Yeah? That was wild. I don't know what happened. Turns on stream, crashes immediately. It would be my luck that that would happen. So, you guys ready for this? I'm ready for critiques. So the way this works, I'm gonna go in order they were posted from like top. So scroll if you want to follow along and you're in the server. You can scroll all the way to the very top of the critique channel, and that's the first one I'm gonna start with today. We'll see how much I can get through. Some of these are definitely take longer than others for sure. But I'm ready. I'm excited. I'm here to do this, and I hope you guys are excited too. If you guys want to submit art, you're always welcome to do so in the server at any time. You don't have to wait for a critique stream to be coming up. You can just do it whenever you feel like you want me to talk about something on stream. If you want more immediate feedback, there's a channel in my server for more immediate feedback, but I usually don't respond. It's usually other people in the server. So if it's me you're looking for, Adele, then you want to do it in the art critiques for the stream. But everyone in the server gives really good feedback, so I'm sure someone will have something helpful to say to you. With that in mind, are you guys ready to get started? Are you ready to do this? Let's do this. Okay, so first we have a submission from user Vin, and this is going to be a character design. They submitted two pictures, but it's really the first one they want to talk about. The second one is just like a cleaner version of the design, but I don't know if I need the second one. It looks exactly. Actually, I feel like the first one's actually easier to read. Okay, I'm going to pull the first one in. I don't think we need number 2. I don't think it's adding. It's not really doing much. It looks like a completely different art style too, so I don't think it's worth it. Okay, so here we go. So they asked for character design and something else. Let me read it again. What did Vin want? So Vin says, character design and just the drawing because it feels boring and flat. How can I fix it? Okay. Well, they didn't give me a lot of info on who this character is, so I guess we can just generally go by what we're looking at and just some general things to think about when thinking about character design. I'm going to remove the background so I can do this better. And chat, if you guys have anything to input, you're always welcome to add. You guys are a part of this. That was weird. I gotta expand. Select, modify. That was too much. Maybe just one? Wonder, is this a JPEG? Probably is. It's probably a JPEG. Which is why this isn't working very well. It's okay. Alright, so I'm just trying to get a outline, because you can look at the silhouette and everything. And I also asked about just how to make it more interesting in general. Oh, JPEGs, the bane of my existence. Yeah, that's good enough. Oh. Okay, got it. Alright, so JPEGs. Okay. So let's start by doing a silhouette. I'm just gonna blacken this. Alright. So I can see what we're working with. Yeah, you know, it's not terrible. I think it works. One thing that could help your silhouette is how you pose this character. Because it's very just there. It's just, this character is standing there. So something to make it more interesting is, to get a better silhouette, is the way you pose your character. Like, if I was to, like, lift this hand up, even just lifting this hand up, that way I could see the tail here a little better, right? Same here. Maybe this hand's a little farther away from the body as well. And then we have, right, we have like the pant line. This too. This is weird. This left foot should be in front, actually, because perspective, their left foot should be the one that's facing us, not the right foot. I'm just gonna do that. Oh, I guess they're right, our left. Right? That's how perspective works, right? But even the silhouette, like, it's not terrible. I think it's just, it could be pushed more. And I think that could even make it more of an interesting drawing when your character's pose is more interesting, right? So let's take out this hand. If you're just going to do a character in empty space, you want the character to be interesting to look at, right? And the easiest way to do that is giving it an interesting pose. And interesting doesn't need to be, like, insanely, like, you don't have to do, like, a crazy action pose for it to be interesting. It could be as simple as separating limbs from each other to give us a little bit more of, like, a read on the whole design. Honestly, I'm not literally drawing this, but and just watch out for tangents. Even that already, like, giving me the chance to look at the tail. Like, I'm already more interested in the design because I can see everything. I think you could do something similar with the feet too. I also think he's a little angled. He's not straight. Like we could bend one of these legs just slightly. Because there's a weird, the shape it's forming between the legs is like not that, it's not the best. Even this, if we just push it out a little more maybe. Like I want the feet, I don't want the feet to touch, basically. Let them be separate. And then maybe there's a little bit of tail in the back here. Right? Let's move this hand a little too. Just slightly. It's nothing crazy, but just like moving things so the body has a chance to, you know, look important is great. Also, I don't know, there's something, this lean, this is a very weird lean. I'm gonna separate the head, because the head is fine. But this is a very odd lean happening here. A jigsaw puzzle. Okay, so even this already is a little bit more interesting because the pose is gonna make it interesting, right? By moving things away from each other, letting us see everything. Something I would suggest too is your head probably wouldn't be straight on here. It might be a little bit, like, a little bit on perspective. It might not be insane. So that would just mean that, like, our right would be actually a little larger than the left. We'd be at, like, a little angle. It doesn't have to be dramatic. But that also, you know, turning the head can make an interesting picture, right? Just slightly. Okay, what else? Let's check what we got so far. Let's look at the silhouette we just made. Just clean it up. I mean, already, it feels a lot more interesting compared to the one on the right, which was the original. I don't know, chat. What do you think? Am I on the right track? I don't think there's much. I think the design itself is cute. We didn't talk about colors yet. But I think the design is not really the problem. I think it's how you're posing your character that's making it look bland. And posing can do so much. Posing can do so much for a character design. can check colors too, but I think posing is the biggest thing. Yeah, I don't think the colors are a problem. The colors look fine. There's very few of them. I think they're working well. Now, if you wanted like a crazy pose, you could push it even more. Like putting them on like 1 foot. I'll try to keep the essence of the original pose. But I love a good 1 foot. Looks like they're either jumping or mid-run. Big fan of that. Or spread their legs out even more. Even. Could be a way. I love a good hip hands. You know. Give me a big smile. You know. Flip the hair. I don't know this character's personality, so that will definitely change what you do with it. And give the tail some life too. I like it when the tail feels like it's like also emoting along with the character, you know. Yeah, I don't know this character's personality. That's a cute one. Do more shy. I don't know. I love a good knob knee. A good old knob knee for a shy character is a classic. Little guys. He's very easy to draw, and I think that you could have some fun with this character. I love simple designs. I'm a big fan of simple. And I think that, again, this is a good design. I think now that the question is posing this character to make him more interesting. You know? Have a surfer energy. Yeah, I can see the surfer vibes. The, like, chillaxed dude. Yeah, I can see it. So yeah, this was our original little pose, and then here's where we ended up. And then these were my little doodles. So who is this artist again? Vin. Vin, I suggest you try some more posing. Even that reference that you sent, that second picture of the character, I can share it with you guys if you haven't seen it. But the second picture that was your character ref is also just like really bland. Like the pose is just, he's T-posing. You know, I don't know much about who this character is. The way you pose them, even in their reference photo, their pose should kind of like give me an idea of who this character is, right? And that's gonna stop it from being boring, you know, when you make it interesting. Oh no, sorry, I forgot that chat blocks. I can zoom out. There we go. Can you see him now? I forgot about what my layout looks like. Okay. I think we're good. Good job, Vin. Yeah, I like this character. He's cute. Make him pose more interesting. All right. Yay, that's one. On a roll. Who's next? Oh, Kenny Boy's next. Oh, this is a tiny picture. Kenny, why is this so small? Why so tiny? Oh, it's like a banner for a server. Okay, I'll teach you. Oh god, let's hopefully if this doesn't blow up and it's pixely, I might have to skip it. Okay, it's still kind of pixely, but it could be worse. So the one thing I'll say is if you're doing something like how I made my emotes, make them giant and then size it down after you finish it, right? So much better quality if you draw it at a normal photo size and then you take that image and compress it after you've created it. Yeah, don't make your art suffer. Don't draw it at like 2 pixels. Oh wait, Kenny Boy's saying something. Oh, Kenny says I can find a better picture. Okay, I'll come back to you then. We're gonna skip Kenny until I get sent a better picture. Thank you. Okay, wait, we'll come back to this. We're coming back. Okay, let's go to Yugoslavs. I'm glad I looked at my server. Okay. Kenny sent me a DM like, I have a better picture. Okay. This is Yugoslavs. We'll come back to Kenny Boy once that picture is sent to me. Yugoslavs also has a better picture. Okay. We're skipping 2 people. Okay. Thanks, guys. Gotta send me those better pictures. This is great. Okay, this is from... I didn't even read it. This is from Fiorul. Fiorul? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Fiorul. Oh, they sent it. Okay, I'll look at it in a second. We'll go backwards then. We're working backwards. What does it say? Hard time with clean line art. That's fine. Don't worry about clean line art. Struggle with making backgrounds and making my characters blend into the background, so I want critique on that. Okay? And colors. You got it. So backgrounds. So something that I always advise people is that you should be treating your background as important as you're treating your character. Which basically means you should be basically rendering and making your background at the exact same time you are making your character. It should not be an afterthought. You should not like finish your entire character and then be like, oh shoot, I need a background, and then worry about the background way too late, right? Not only should you sketch when you sketch your character, but you should also render when you render your character. One thing that can help this, I think, is your perspective is wonky, and there is nothing wrong with tracing an image to understand perspective, okay? So I think she's like looking over like I think she's on a boat. I don't really know. But if you really can't find perspective, if you're struggling to do it from your brain, find a reference and work from a reference. It is going to save your life. And that has to do with the water too. I think what's happening here is rendering the background before the character. Yeah, that could be it. I even say just work at them like simultaneously. Like whenever you do one step on the character, you do the same step to the background. Yeah, this water, I mean, there was a good... Didn't I send a water painting tutorial recently? Hold on. Let me find it. The thing about water is there's a lot of reflective light. So you really have to pay attention to your reflections when you do... No, it was grass that I sent. Oh, shoot. Did I not send a water tutorial? Oh, if I sent out a grass tutorial, that's not the right thing. Well, that's like not what you're looking for. Well, sorry. But yeah, you can always find a good tutorial or find a picture online and copy the lighting on the picture. Let me just find some. Let me find an ocean. Let's find a picture of an ocean. Water. I want like the colors aren't the same, but we can look at it for lighting. Even these little ripples. Get yourself as many references as your heart needs. You know, I say the more references, the better. Where did my thingy go? I lost you guys. Oh, there you guys are. Okay. I lost the chat for a second. I was like, where are you? Can also do this. Yeah, I can see how the character's blending in. I think the background colors are almost the same shade as the front. Something to know about. Let me find like a picture of like the ocean going farther away. If we look at this picture, the water that's farther away is actually lighter than the water that's closest to us. Because it kind of like starts to blend into the sky more. So what we can do is a couple things. First off, let's remove the person. Oh, that didn't work. Clouds are framing her head. Yeah, I think you're trying to force the clouds to like go behind her head. I agree. When they don't need to. You could just have them go behind her. Or just don't draw a cloud there. There's nothing wrong with like putting less clouds in the sky. You know? Okay, hold on. I gotta crop out the character. I hate doing this. So make coloring the background better. If I can do this one. Okay. Huzzah. Okay. And then I'll just take this like deck out too. Okay. So I think first thing with this, the perspective is not right. Like we gotta bring it down a little bit. Oopsie. Whoops. What am I missing? Oh, there we go. Oh, you guys like my warping? Perspective warp is my favorite thing. Even that already, like, just, I think the back was too high up. And now already it's getting better. And then this water, I don't want to sit here and redraw the whole water, but I'll do like a half-assed version of it. Just get like a yes. So what I was saying is when it gets further away, it gets lighter, right? So, it's actually not where the sun is that is going to be what you want to focus on. It's just, let's do like almost the sky color. And then we got that like dark color you have. And I need it to be this way. Let's do a bit soft light maybe? No, that might be too much. Green. Vivid light? No, that's too bright. Color. Maybe I do need to lighten up the background. Maybe it is soft light. Then let's do this too. Just lighten it a bit. I can lower this too. I mean, obviously, this is harder because I'm doing this after the fact. Obviously, you would do this when you're in the middle of shading it, not afterwards. But yeah, someone also brought up like maybe more rougher waves because, it's very windy out. But, And then we got the light. It looks like you're using like the built-in wave brush from like Procreate or whatever. I would avoid using that. If that is better for a texture, so you put it like over the whole thing after you've painted the shadows, and then you put the texture of the wave brush on top of it, and it makes it look like a wave. It's not really the best brush to actually render things with. It's a little, it's because it's flat. Like you can only go in one direction with it, and only one like stroke, so it doesn't have a lot of variety. So always avoid the like those brushes for like doing the hard work for you. Whoa, mine's like so bad, but even just a little darker. I can get some of the mids back in here. Honestly, I'm unblended. It's very messy right now. I think the pink waves are cute. That water's more black. Yeah, I think it's, like I said, when it's closer to us, the water's darker. So it makes sense that it's darker on the bottom, right? And lighter when it's farther away. This is like gross, but pretend I rendered this. Pretend I rendered it, guys. I'm not sitting here and rendering this. And then someone brought up the clouds. I think that's a good point, too, with these clouds. Let me remove all the blue, actually. Because I think you can kind of just crop this off. I don't know if we need this whole thing. I don't think you need this whole cloud. I would even like let it go off the page here. Maybe even make it a little smaller. It's fully rendered as far as you can tell. Thanks for that vote of confidence. You're putting a lot more faith in my crappy 2-minute doodle renders than I have. Alright. Just like a little bit of opacity, but even this already is framing her head. And we didn't need to make it like a weird shape, you know? Put that back. Okay. I think this is thinking. Okay, someone brought up how like she's orange and then the background is like purpley, and I agree. I like the complementary colors. Like if we make it a little more blue or even purple is fine. But we could even do it more. Let's see if I can make it even a little more. If I saturate her a little more. What if we boost it more? I don't want to like overdo it. Now let's maybe desaturate the background. I'm not fully desaturated. Colorize it. Oh, I can gradient it too. Let me do a gradient. I'm a sucker for a good old overlay. Give me an overlay. Okay, so like, we just use that same gradient I used before. But do overlay this time. Lower it a little. Boosts that up a bit. Let's do a circle. Everything I draw has an overlay. Grape sea! Yeah, I like it. I like the purple sea. Let's do an orange for her. A reddish. More red maybe. Let's just do burp. Go overlay. Lower that a little. Boost it maybe more. I think I need a darker color. Ah! Saturation. I kind of like it better. Okay, so what did we talk about? Now I have to remember everything I said. Draw the background as you draw the character. Watch your perspective. Use references. Don't use a texture brush to do the paint job. Paint first and put the texture after. Things that are farther away get lighter than the things that are closer to us. I don't know. That's all I got. Was there anything else I said? I think that was it. I think we gotta call this one. Alright, so this was the new one, and there was the old one. And it's not like a crazy difference, but like making that character pop out a little more from the background, and you know, rendering my bad render, my unrendered render of the sea, and the deck, watching the perspective of the deck. Yeah, your character's very good. Now you gotta get your background skills to match your character drawing skills. That's your next challenge. It's not an easy challenge, but it's one that we all must take one day as artists. Okay. Cool. Thank you, Fioru. Why did I not change her to purple? Because she's not purple. Why would I make the character's colors completely different? Right? Also, they're like split complementary. So if you guys know the color wheel, we have red, we got orange, we got yellow, you got green, got blue. Wait, that's wrong. I messed up. Wait, blue, because there's not as many colors as I thought there was. I can draw a color wheel. I'm totally an art teacher, guys. So we have orange and blue are complementary because they're across from each other, and then split complementary is when it splits. So a split complementary for orange would be purple and green, right? And they look good together because they complement each other. In lighting, I mean, I didn't really light it. I just put a gradient over it to boost the colors. I didn't change the lighting. I just boosted the colors. The wonders of the color wheel. It exists for a reason. Although there's some anti-color wheel people out there who like don't like the color wheel and they think it's wrong because of some stupid science. And I'm like, I don't care about science. I care about what my eyes see, and my eyes see that they look good together. Okay. I'm going to. Okay, we're working backwards now because we have two who gave me better versions. So this is Yugoslav. And then it says, and then we'll go backwards. Okay. Ooh, now it's really big. Okay. Thank you for big drawing. Okay. Where can I improve with light and shading? And is there anything different I could do for the posing and room design? Because it feels though it's missing the direction for the eye to follow. Okay. Sure. Let's start light first, because I think that lighting always solves all the problems. It tends to be a universal thing, that if you get your lighting right, then you don't have to worry about any of the other things that you're worried about. So you have this ray of light, and I think it's a good idea to have this as like a way to shade, but I'm going to teach you a trick to shading with a very specific light. And this is, well, let me first figure out what colors this. Almost. Maybe like a yellow. A golden ray of light. So the first thing you want to do is color the entire thing. You want to basically make everything as dark as it's going to be. And I'll do, can always do multiply is a good one. I'm an overlay buff, but I don't want to do overlay for you. Let's do multiply. Let me just like lower it a little. Tell your secret of lighting being how you make anything look good. Sorry. Okay, so once you have the darkest darks, you're instead going to pull out the lights. And this sounds weird, but bear with me. So what you'll end up doing is like bringing the lights out of the darks, because most of it's going to be dark, right? Let me just make it a little less dark. So I'm like pulling the lights out first. Trying to get the face shape, which looks super creepy, you know, whatever it is you're doing. Same, blah, blah, blah. Okay, reflective light, don't forget reflective light. Same with your dinosaur. Pull out the lights. This will probably be like the individual teeth, actually, more so. Huzzah. And then on another layer, let's make a ray of light, and then I'll work on this. Hold on. So the first thing is I would put it more coming from like the ceiling. And the thing with a light ray is, like, say you have your window here, it gets bigger. Let me use a red. So this is your window, right? The light ray actually, the biggest part is usually on the floor. So when you cast your shadow, this is your light, right? Let's pretend, right? This is my light ray. It gets smaller, like it's like a little, it's like a tube of light. It gets smaller at one end, and that end is usually where the window is, and then it casts a larger shadow, and then obviously depending on the time of day, the shadow can move, but the same thing's going to apply right? Like, how much light comes through. I don't... Lighting. So this ray of light would be actually casting more of a shadow. Possibly... let me see if I can follow. Maybe more so like this. Oopsie. I'm a gradient. And then let's give it a good old... What are we gonna give it? Overlay is my go-to. Overlay looks good usually. Soft light, hard light. Vivid light! Oh my god, my eyes! Soft light's good. I like soft light. Okay. There's a window in the frame? Where? Where? I don't see a... Oh, this? Oh, you did not draw your ray. I made it too dark, maybe. Oh, now I see it. I made it too dark. Well, even so, your ray is not correct. I'm gonna see. It would be like this. Like that. Oh, also... Okay. What I would say this is I would not have realized that this was a window if you had said something. I thought it was just like a curtain blowing in the wind. So you should, if you had composition questions, my biggest thing would be give me this little section right here. What's going on? Just give me a tiny bit more of that window so that I can see, you know, I can actually see where the ray is coming. Because what you're gonna notice is the curtain might block it, and there might not actually be a ray of light coming through if the like curtain's blocking it. You know, because the ray of light actually might be really like tiny actually, and it might not even hit the person because this curtain looks like it's in the way or whatever it is. And if that's the case, then this ray of light is really small comparative to what you drew. It's probably only like that much. If that. And even that might be too much. Let's go back to soft light. That was good. But even that, it might get blocked. I might have put too much. If it's supposed to be important, then make it obvious. That's what I'm going to say. Alright, let's give it a blur. Okay, let me lower it a little. Or maybe not. So that means I should do this again because the lighting is wrong now. That the light is very tiny. Let's go back to multiply. So now there's very little that's lit up. So I would say this. I think this needs to have a big, light. Because if you want this to light up the character, you need to have a bigger window. So what I would suggest is instead of having the curtains being blown away, you should have them like on those like hooks. You know, those like cool wrappings that people do. Like old medieval curtains that get wrapped up in like they got like a string or whatever. And then give me a bigger window. Because these curtains are blowing away and they are blocking all of the light, right? Even this can blow if you want it to. We can go like this and we can warp it a little. You can make this blow a little bit, but it probably wouldn't be as dramatic. But that would like then let you put in more light, right? Because you probably want to see the face of the person, right? Because right now the way it is, you can't really see anything that you want to see, the important stuff. So if I started to like remove some of this now, keep that in mind. thing here. If it's important, make it obvious. Well, yeah. I mean... Does that not make sense? I feel like that's common sense, I fear. Even though, like, the curtain should probably get more dramatic lighting. What is that? That sound on TikTok? Where it's like a marathon. All marathons are the same length. That's common sense, I fear. That's how I feel right now. Maybe I just watched too much TikTok. Pretend I followed the... Okay. Yes, I totally am following the shadows, because I'm paying attention. Yeah, soft light's always... I mean, you obviously can play with this, and I'll probably have to do another pass where you even make some stuff darker. Probably most of this would be darker. Dark. Darkness in the background. See, now when you have lighting like this, it's like, who cares how detailed your background is, because no one's gonna even see it. So you can be as minimalistic with the background as your heart desires. So obviously this is super rough working from the lighting you had already. So you would be thinking of this before you lit anything. Obviously when you still only have flats. But just keep in mind, like, making sure that, like, you are putting important things visible in the scene, making sure we can see what's going on. Can maybe even play with this a little more. Maybe saturate it a little. No, not that. Boost the contrast. That's pretty cool. I don't want to make it too bright. Yeah, that's cool. Okay. Yeah, you know, all those little details you're worried about won't matter if, you know, the lighting is doing its job. Also blur your light. Your, like, light beam, you have, like, a solid edge. You should have a blur for the edge of the light beam. Don't make it a solid. Okay. Yeah. That was yours, and then now it's here. I mean, it's, like, dramatic as hell now. And yeah, we're losing some of the detail in the backgrounds, but it's kind of like you have to make the decision on what you want this scene to be about. Is the scene about the woman and the dinosaur, or is the scene about the place that it's located in? And I think this is about the woman and the dinosaur, and the dramatic lighting is really going to, like, make it really cool. And like I said, if you get your lighting right, then all your other worries don't matter. Thank you for the follow. Yes. bot. I don't want a bot message. Thank you for the bot. Okay. Good job. Huzzah. Let's move on. Okie dokie. So we're working backwards. So we're going to Kenny Boy now. I got this big picture. Thank you for giving it to me. Yay. Big picture. Let's see how much bigger this is. I'm ready. Yes, big picture. Okay. What did Kenny Boy want? Let's see. Oh, it's so big. I love. Okay, so they say composition and colors. Yes. Okay. So compositions and colors sometimes play together very well. Like if your colors are working, your composition should also work. You can always check your grayscale to get a good start. I think this is pretty good. I think you could have a little bit more of a glow coming from this thing, this object here, and make everything else a lot more pop. I wonder if as well we could center it a tiny bit, like if we just take all of this, just like push it over a little bit. Then again, I don't know if like there's gonna be something blocking it. Like sometimes if this is for social media, like an icon or something will block it. So I don't know. But even like pushing this over a little more could help. Maybe I pushed it too much. Let's move it back a little. Okay. Now I'm talking about the lighting. Like, if we do the gradient thing, I always do an overlay. But if you just apply an overlay following the colors that you have here, we go like this. Go like this. Obviously, I gotta play with the opacity. I usually do like a 50. But you could go even more if you want. Because I think if you use this as your light source, you could really push it. Now this little dude is getting lost. This little guy on the tail, he's getting lost a little in the colors now because he might be too dark. But we can him specifically brighter. Maybe I lower this a little. 50 is usually a way to go. I don't know if that's too minimal. But I think you could push your lighting in general with this one to make it pop more. As always, if your lighting is good, then everything else is right. So it could just be like a sense of lightening up more things here. You know, even these masks, give them some more reflective light. That could be on this little guy too. Because if he's got some light, he'll pop out. You know, even if they're far away. Just give them a little pop. You know, pretend they're all actually in the same scene together. Even if they're not. Good lighting pays your taxes. I like that saying. Thank you. I mean, I'm like going a little dramatic, but you don't have to go this dramatic as me. You can just just be a subtle change, and it can already, like, pop it out a little bit. We got the Zelda sword. Okay. Super minimal. Can even do a little darks if you want. If you want. Wow. Boosting out a little. Never say no to a good light. Good old dark light. I mean, I'm not gonna push it much farther, but I think minimal popping would be nice. With this logo, I think we gotta move it a little. Cause it's interesting. You're like, if this is part of the composition that joined the Discord, it is kind of in a bad spot. I would honestly, like, put something like this. I would move it over to this corner that you had going on here. Because you had a bunch of empty space on the bottom right corner. And instead of, like, trying to cram it in there, put it in the corner. Let it live down here instead. Because where you place that is also part of the composition, where this little guy goes. You know, you say, join. Whatever you write, right? Pretend I wrote it. And then this, you can just get rid of it here. Goodbye. So long, farewell. And then we can move your logo a little bit too. Put it a little bit away from your characters. And then just have that gradient there. I know this is a logo, but a good thing for logos is graphic. And something I think your logo is missing is an outline. And I think you need a graphic outline around this bad boy. It could even be white. Oh, wait, I got it. Because it's blending into the background because it's, like, also pretty dark. So, give something. A big white stroke like that. Obviously, there's a stroke button you should use. Don't do what I'm doing. Use the built-in stroke tool, please. But I don't have the raw file for this, so I'm just guessing. It doesn't even need to be white. I could actually probably make it a different color, but it would still have the same effect. Oh, you're making a new banner anyway? Yeah, you gotta make sure it pops. So make sure when you make it, you can make it without the line art, but you want to make sure that when you implement it, like especially if it's a dark logo over something dark, you want to make sure it pops. So I could even use like this light color that you have going on over here, like as the pop, so it like ties into the palette or whatever. Maybe lower it even a little so it blends with the background. Let's try that. It's always a good thing to try. I just realized. Where's my inverse button? whatever you do with it, make it pop more. Mine's really cruddy, but yeah. Also, I don't know what the dimensions of the banner are, but yeah, you know what you could do too? You have like the implication of a bunch of stars. Give me more of those. Dot. Do I got like a dot brush or a rake? Oh, let me do like a splatter brush. Give me a few more like nebulas or something. And it doesn't have to be dramatically much, but it can fill in this empty space by just having a texture here of some kind. Yeah. Yay. Space. Final Frontier. Okay. Yeah, this is a really strong piece because your characters and your coloring abilities are top tier. But I definitely think if you got this dramatic light source, let's out a little more and make sure that you're putting your logos and your writings, all of it's got to kind of also make sense in the composition. So if you've got too much empty space, like use it for your logo or whatever it is that you need to do. Because I think this is strong. It's a very subtle difference. But this also, moving the join to the bottom right as well makes us look more at the characters instead of the join button right away. It like frames the characters between your two logo kind of things. Yeah, I think this is good. I want to see what your new logo comes out with because this is a really good logo. I like the text you did. Keep it up. Proud of you. Yay. All right. Where are we at? It's already been over an hour. Oy, oy, oy. How many have we done? 4. Okay. I'm going on 4. Okay. Trying to do a few more. We'll see how much I can get to. It's taking longer than I thought it would. Alright. Up next, we have Phantom Wren. Okay. Phantom Wren has this drawing. If it would like to be bigger, that would help me. So they say I have been working on backgrounds, objects, and characters interacting. So I did a scene where Theros and friends of Caesar interacting. One is leaning over, one that's sitting on a workout machine. Tried to throw symbolism in the background. Okay. Any critique is welcome. Kind of feels as though they really are focusing on backgrounds for the first time, though. So I wonder if that's something we should talk about. That feels where their heart is at right now. Is the putting the characters in a space. All right, you got it, Ren. No, it's okay. This image is fine. The other ones were like literally a pixel. A pixel big. Okay. So, something I brought up before is making sure you're like making the background at the same time as the characters. To me, I think you did that with the workout machine, but then all the other stuff you drew is definitely like a second thought, kind of. It felt like you knew you wanted to put them on the workout machine, but then like the floor and the other wheelchair, there's one wheelchair. What other wheelchair? Oh my god, I'm tired. Okay, the wheelchair and then like the graffiti on the walls and stuff, they feel very like you just decided last minute where to put these. And I can see it, even like the floor perspective is a little wonky. So definitely make sure you're doing like the background, every element with the characters at the same time. So instead of just straight up starting with the characters and this machine they're on, draw the floor first. Like put them in the room first. Do not draw any characters until you know what the floor looks like, because then the whole perspective might be off. So for instance, right now, your floor is looking like a bit like this, if it would make a line, right? Which, if we were to actually put the things on this floor, that would mean that this is actually the angle of the machine, not what you have, right? It's actually a little more like this, right? Because you got to follow your lines. Actually, I might be off, right? We got to follow this line, right? We'd actually be looking a little bit more down at it. So like this would not be so flat. We'd probably see the top of this machine a little bit more, right? Things like that. So the biggest thing is, instead of having to fix every little thing, let's fix the floor. And if we get the floor perspective right, then everything else will be fine. So if this is that line, okay, and then this is this line. I'm gonna use that as my guides. Okay. Just gotta make a longer line. Everything should be parallel if we're doing this right. It's a little wonky. Oh, I see. It's this back angle. It's this one. That's your floor. Come on. So maybe that's too far away. Okay. Going to fix this. So this is gonna be rough, but this middle line, let me get more of a pencil tool. Will probably not actually be there. So the corner would probably be over here a little more. Right? And this line would be down here. And now actually with it down there, the crutches make more sense on how they're interacting with the wall. Right? Because they should be leaned up. Actually, wait, hold on. I'm going to use the crutches as a reference. Because the crutches should be, for them to successfully be leaning against the wall at that angle, they should be placed almost exactly at the edge of the wall. Otherwise, these, like, if this is my wall, right, and I had my crutches leaning on it, if they were so far away, they would actually, like, fall over a little more, right? They would, so they could hit the wall. Versus if they were closer, they would be a little bit straighter, because they don't have as far of a fall to make to hit the wall, right? So we've got to line this up a little more. So that means that all of this, I'm gonna bring it down. Say goodbye to this. Can we not do this today, Photoshop? This is a little bit more so where the floor would be here, so that it would lean up against it successfully. And And then you can add your graffiti that you want. And then if that's the wall, then again, this wall. Move over. And then to make it look like it's at a different angle, when it hits this wall, you're going to have to literally angle it. So all of this would get warped towards the perspective it's moving, right? So the angles might look a little weird at first, but they're going to like take a dramatic, like a very dramatic turn. It's not going to be, you made a very soft little curve. The curve won't exist. It's going to be like a harsh angle for it to get from one wall to the other. And that's how you're going to be able to get that to look like it's going around the bend. It's like a, you know, no curve, just and this too. Let's make it a little more dramatic. Might be getting a little lost in the sauce there because it's hard to do this. Oh, editing photos. Alright, and then this too would have to come down, this wall line. So same idea. The floor, also you're building a tangent with it there, but it wouldn't even be a tangent, it would probably be down here. And then the same idea would happen with these. All of this would come down. You guys are like quiet on this one. No one have any input? This is the least I've seen you guys talk. You're lost in the perspective. Okay, and then I like what you're doing with the splatter to make it look like graffiti. There's definitely another way too. If you put like a wall texture over it, it can make it a little wall-like, for sure. Let's get some wall texture. Don't know what that is, but we'll find something. Sure. This. Whatever this is. This is my texture. Thank you. Divide's pretty good. Just kind of like Divide. Yeah, let me just get rid of what I don't want. Texture. Texture is also a good way to get things to pop out more when one thing has texture and one doesn't. Helps you pop things out. I think another thing too is the lighting is going to help pop this out more. I think right now, if I turn on grayscale, everything is kind of the same. Yeah, everything's there's a lot of similar grays. So something that's going to help is if we push your lighting a little bit, and that'll also, because it looks like you didn't really shade very much. It's very minimal shading. So yeah, the tail is cool, but it's lost in the background. I totally agree. Yeah, it's hard to tell where that tail is connected to, just going off of what we're looking at right now. So I think if we darken the background, just do it this way. Different thing, maybe multiply. Not much. Alright, and let's lighten up the other parts. A lot of some light, some dark, you know. So I think, hello? It's giving me nothing. Why are you giving me nothing? Overlay it is. Alright. Okay. Bring them out a little more. Very bright now. Hold on. I'll fix it. Don't worry. Just made them glow. The glow of their love. Wild, guys. Yeah, even now it's popping out more. Like, I'm not even like really going hard into shading here, but probably even lighten up some of this too. Oops. There we go. heart desires, even having some more of a shadow on the floor can help separate all this. 'Cause definitely under here it would be darker. You have a small shadow already, but we could give it more of a shadow. You know, those gym lights ain't helping them. You know. But even this, like, you didn't do much shading, but you could give me a little shading. It'll probably help them pop out a little more if there's some shading going on here. In some sense, it can be very minimal, but even a minimal shading can do a lot. I'm telling you now. Makes them feel like they're really living somewhere, you know, they're actually in a location, not just existing in a void, a lightless void. The dark abyss that we all exist in. Okay, I could do this forever, but okay. So perspective on the background, making sure you're doing it correctly, and adjusting the light difference between, you know, different elements in your piece will help push things out more. Then won't blur things to the background. Okay, so we have, this is the newish one. Here's our old one. Yeah. I think this is a good start for putting backgrounds together. The next step is like taking all of your knowledge from rendering without a background and throwing it into a background. And that can be rough. But I believe in you. Don't forget to draw your backgrounds with your characters. Don't think of it as an afterthought, alright? It should be as important as the characters themselves. Alright. Yay, thank you, Ren. Probably do one more at least, right? Yeah, we can do this one. This is a cool one. This is from Mew Maxter. Oopsie. Got this really cool perspective here. Alright, they're going for a fisheye lens perspective, but it kind of just looks like the proportions are messed up and they have a huge head. So like opinion on perspective. Sure. Let me get you a perspective grid. I've done fisheye lens perspective before. It's not easy. It's like a globe. So it's rough. But I honestly think this is working more as just a low perspective, less so a fisheye. To me, it just looks like I'm below this person. I don't know who told you that it looks like their proportions are just too big, because to me it does look like I'm at a low point of view. 100%. So whoever told you that is lying to you. You always are like, could push it more. You could always push it more, but sometimes you have to stop pushing it because then it gets weird. Like if I just drag out this here, maybe I don't want to squeeze it too much because then we'll warp the head a little too much. Let's do this. Now even that, like, just a small push. But like yours is pretty, like, yours is just a subtle one. I don't think your head is too big. I don't know who told you that. They're mean. Don't trust their opinion. If you wanted a fisheye, got this grid here, okay? I'm not going to edit yours into this because I will literally go insane. But I will try my best to draw the perspective, but it's really hard because, like, the head, this up here is the smallest thing, really, right? You could also draw them normally, right? Let's just do a normal pose. Okay, we got them seated, and they got their legs out. Great. This is always a way to do it. This is how you cheat any perspective, honestly. Draw them normal. Got the leggies out, whatever it is. And then when you go over here, you warp it, or you, some people have liquefy in their programs. You just push it until it matches this perspective after you've drawn it normally. It's a really good way to do it. Because if this was fisheye, then the legs would be really bulgy, right? And then this would be more like this. This looks so stupid. But hey, that's fisheye lens. I don't know what to say. Look how gross that looks. And then, you could also, like, do the whole body first before you fisheye lens it. But, like, then you'd have, like, you could literally draw the whole thing first and then fisheye it. But you would have, like, your hair here. And then you got your shoulder or whatever, and your big, warpy legs. Like, woo! I should make this black, whatever. And then you got your hand. Fisheye is very weird. So, like, it's gonna be weird. Yeah, that's a little more fisheye, but I don't think there's anything wrong with it just being a low perspective that we're looking up at her. I think it works. I don't know. People are lying to you. I think people are just being mean to be mean. That sucks. This is a good drawing. It's really, really well done. Draw more perspective stuff. Fisheye is hard. A good way to do fisheye is do a whole scene. Just, like, do a background in fisheye. Don't do a character. It's harder to do a character and make them look correct if you're doing fisheye. I know from experience. I have drawn a fisheye character and a background in fisheye. It's rough. Okay, I think we can do a few more. We got Kit here. Oh, that's big. Yeah, people are lying to you. Look at this big boy. Okay. So. Oopsie. I didn't mean to do that. Sorry, guys. I just got tiny. It's a new style and brush that they're using. And they just want some rendering critique on how it's looking. Okay. I like this brush you found. It's really nice. Okay, we can take a peek. Okay. I think there was another work of yours we looked at before, and I had a similar thing that I think I'm going to say now. That, I think this is good. You just gotta push your shadows a little more. I really like how, like, blocky this brush is making it, and how, like, we kind of see the characters, but not completely, and I think that's okay, that nothing is, like, perfectly rendered. There's some really cool art styles that are a little bit more painterly, and I think that's what you're going for, is this, like, painter vibe. But what we can do is just push your darks a little bit more, where she's so glowy that everything around her is going to definitely, you know, come out more. Um, you know, nothing wrong with pushing those lights a little more. And I know, I think I said a similar thing the last time we talked about your art. That, you know, pushing those lights and darks can really, really make or break something. Even back here, you know, we can even blur some of the stuff that's getting farther away from the characters. That way it feels less important. Let's try that. Blur is always a good way to make something look more important. I love these branches. But you could probably even go black with these branches. Like, why not just go pure black? Like, why not? Right? When they're this close to us, I don't see why they can't be pure black. And I like the little pop of light. You can keep that. But, like, make the base color black. And then let's do, like, just a tad of a blur around some of this stuff. I like the trees. Okay, let's try this. I'll push it even more. I don't want to overdo it, but yeah. I mean, I really think this is a strong, I don't know what brush you found, but it's a really good brush. And I can see you making a lot more with this. It's very concept art. It's giving me concept art with this brush. You should, if you don't have an ArtStation account, you should make an ArtStation account. Because ArtStation is just professional DeviantArt, basically. And you can find some amazing artists on there. And they're usually all people working professionally. Here's an artist I just found, who's a senior environment concept artist. Look at this cool background. Like, the stuff you're making is very, very similar to this. This is Gavin O'Donnell. Wow, his clouds are pretty. Let's find something. Got even more. Give me more. Anyway, I could be on this website for hours. I should stop being on this website for hours. Oh, this is a nice one. Tyler Edlin? This is a good one. Look at this one. That's pretty. But it's giving me a similar vibe to the work you're making. So go on ArtStation and just hunt. Just look at cool stuff. You'll be very inspired, and you can see how they're using their lights a lot. Like this guy here, like the stuff closest to us is super dark, and then we got this light back here, but he's not like fully rendering all these trees, right? Even this tower in the background is implied. He didn't even finish drawing this tower, right? It's just an implication of a tower, and the mountains are just made with lights. A lot of these people also use like the lasso tool, I'm aware of, to make their shapes. That's how they get them so rigid. Even here, like, this is not fully rendered. It's just, and he's blurring. See how he's like, when it's this is an interesting thing. When we're not supposed to look at it, it's less rendered. So the stuff that we are really supposed to focus on, like the middle arch here, where it's glowing, he spends a lot more time like detailing it out. But the farther away from that we get, the less effort he spends making it visible to us. And now it's just a shape. It's like a weird color shape. And just because we can see, to us, we can tell, like, oh, no, that's part of the arch. It continues to the left or the right. But he doesn't need to sit there and render the entire arch because he did that in the middle, and then we can fill in the blanks as it gets farther away because it's less important. And I think that's something you could take into your work, is focusing on the important stuff and then sending us away. And I think this line of smoke you have coming out of his cigarette is really, really cool, but it's taking away from the importance of this figure. So either put the smoke closer to the figure or figure out a different way to render smoke, because I think it's not supporting the composition as you would like it to. Let me see if there's any smoke in this dude's art. Where's that other artist I just had? This guy. He got any smoke in his work? Oh, his work is cool. This has some stuff in it. This is that Gavin O'Donnell, the guy who made the arch. So it's got like miasma coming out of it. But again, like, the middle, these figures aren't fully rendered, but we have an idea. The arch, like, we have this implication of a giant building, but we don't see this building. We see maybe a few things here. We got a lot of sand blown up in the way, right? And the focus is on the middle here, not on all the stuff around it. And I think if you take this into your work, it's going to be pushed to another level, because you're at a really good start for like pure concept artwork, and you're ready for that next step. This brush is good. Keep using this brush. Now start thinking more about like what am I spending my time rendering and what am I not. Yeah. Okay. Go on ArtStation. You should make an ArtStation account too. All right. I didn't really do much, but you know, pushed it out, blurred the stuff that was less important. Yeah. Alright. You got this, Kit. I believe in you. Alright. Huzzah! I could probably do one more. Alright. This is probably the last one for today. This is from Unicorn. Got this drawing here. Anatomy. Oh, it's Link. Cool. They know the lighting doesn't make sense. It was added at the end. Okay. Good. Alright, I haven't done anatomy in a while. Let's do a trace over. Ooh. Excusez-moi. Okay. Let's use blue, because this is a very red thing. Okay, so we got head. Where is this head going? Is it like, this is the end of the head, right? Yeah. Okay. We got ear. Okay. And we got shoulder. Is that the line? Oh, I want to say we got the belly button. Oopsie. I don't want to wait. Sorry, guys. Ooh, need more water. I think it's like, if this is the that's the belly button line, right? And then that's the waist line. So this is, because the shoulders here, the bag of clothes are throwing me off a little bit. You got your hand. I think it's not a perfectly straight line. It's kind of like that. Okay, it's a little funky. This, we got the hand. And then we got this one. Okay. Yeah, I don't think your anatomy's terrible. I don't know if there was something that was standing out to you specifically as like not working, but this doesn't look that bad. There may be like slight things we can do. I think the perspective is a little funky. That could be what's throwing you off. Because this, it looks like the left side of his body is turned more than the right side. So that could be kind of what's throwing you off a little bit. But the length of everything seems pretty accurate. So, sorry, I need a cough drop. Where are they? Give me a second. I have some. Oh. Okay, I found it. Sorry, that was a lot of noise. Okay. Let's... Wow. Let's see what we can do. So I think it's not bad. I think what we can do is this left arm is really what we can move over a little more. So I think it would be out more. And then if this is... Actually... Yeah, hold on. So if this is the... You know what? Let's go by the headline. So then, if the head is the line... You know what? Actually, okay. Take it all back. I keep saying things. The head would be turned a little more too. Right? Get a little bit more of an angle on the head. That hand's fine. And then I think all of this should just come over a little more. Because I was getting a little confused by the waist here. Because he is a man. I mean, I don't know. I question Link sometimes. Maybe he's not. I don't know. He does give big AFAB energy. So, you know. I'm the only Link truther. See? Thank you. We can all agree. Okay. Let's use this as a guide. Can I quick select? I can't quick select. Damn. Alright, never mind. I tried. Gotta do this the hard way. Alright. Excuse me as I crop. Sorry in advance. Let's see if I can color select maybe. Okay, that did cut a lot of time out. And now we just add. Oh, selecting things. favorite part of this. Alright. Oh, there's more. Great. Love that for me. Okay. No more background. Huzzah. Okay. So, what do we got? Let's bring this arm over a tad. Okay, that arm was fine. I think it's just this part. Yeah. Okay. Oh, and then I wanted to move the face a little bit. Angle that face just a tad. Just a tad. Okay. Have to fix the chin, but did I move the whole head over? I did. Great. Love that for me. Ugh. The warping. The warping never ends. Infinite warping. is working actually. Better than I thought it would. Let's color it in, and we're good. Just gonna follow this. Yeah. Woo. We sure got a guy sleep on. We got a sleep in here. Okay. Pretend I matched the shadows better than that. I didn't even try, did I? I did my best. Listen, I ain't rendering the whole thing right now, alright? Okay. I think this is good. So, it was very, very minimal. I said it was pretty accurate, actually. It was just trying to make sure all the lighting, not the lighting, all the anatomy was facing the same direction. I made it a little bit more up. So the head, I tilted a little more. The arm on his right, our left, it was a little too thin for the angle he was at, so we would see it a little more. Let me just put something back here. And then the chest area wasn't actually connected correctly, so it was just widening his waist a little bit to connect the chest to the waist, but he was pretty accurate, honestly. Yeah, so the lighting you did, I can, if you want to know a trick, what to do. So you got a thing here. We got your guy. This is our little link. Great. So when you do the lighting, what you do is, how you did it is you do these strips, right? But when you do the strips on its own layer, and then what you do is on top of that, like you go on a layer on top. So the layer for the bed here he's lying on, or whatever he's lying on, works. But on him, it has to warp. So we would have to follow the perspective of his body. So it would it wouldn't be a straight line. That's why it's looking weird. It's because it's a straight line. It would not be straight. It would be like it would warp on his body. Like I don't want to warp his entire body. But, for instance, it would follow more like a, you know, his body isn't flat. It's a three-dimensional shape. So, keep that in mind. When you do things like this, it would be affected by the 3D shape that it is, right? And warp along it. And it would not line up perfectly with the, it would not line up with the ground perfectly. It would be its own separate entity, basically. That's a good way to do the stripes. Same thing with like doing a tree line, like if you're doing stuff inside of a tree. You know, you do it on a layer above, and you warp it over the body's anatomy, so it looks like it's not just like a weird shape on top of it. But there's my weird, whatever this thing is. Look at that thing. There he is. Okay. But yeah, anatomy. Like I said, it was pretty. You did a good job. It's just making sure it's all facing the same direction. Yay! All right. That was it. I think I said I was gonna stop there. Where's Discord? Alright, so yeah, that was unicorn. Yeah, that was a good amount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We did 8. That's good. 8's good. Especially because there's like not that many submissions. I think 8's pretty good. Okay. Yay! Thank you guys for joining me today. I hope you guys had fun hanging out. Maybe learned something today about, I don't know, composition or lighting or something. We talked a lot about lighting. We always do. So yeah, that's the last stream for this month. Am I available on the? I am. Okay. So the first, May 1st will be the next stream, and that's going to be for the challenge, the monthly challenge. I'm going to be probably posting the poll sometime soon for next month. Make sure you submit. There's so few submissions right now that if you submit, you probably are going to place. So if you want a chance to win art from me, join the monthly challenge in our Discord server. And then I'll post a stream schedule for May, and it will include when the next monthly challenge is as well, so you'll know when that's coming up. Otherwise, this VOD will be posted very shortly on my YouTube, and you can watch it back if you want to hear something again, or you missed it, or like you missed your own critique. And then I'll be deleting the ones we did in the server very shortly. Thanks, you guys. There's some awesome art today. I always like seeing your guys' work. It makes me happy. Yeah, so until the monthly challenge stream, so May 1st, I hope you guys have a great rest of your month. And I'll see you all next time. Bye.